was a wonderful time to have with you and with all to reflect on a Dare to Dream. And I was happily involved with my parish community, many of these days and many of the discussions, and the community was fully involved or immersed into the reflection theme, Dare to Dream. And what we came out, or the impact of these reflections were that almost I sensed like my community is falling into a sense of pre-exilic mind. When we go through the books of the Old Testament where the exile happens, Jeremiah or any other prophet, they heavily give the feeling of something going to happen, the imminence as well as a fear sense. Now, the Dare to Dream brought into our communities a sense of imminence and fear. But my friends, there's a big difference. In going into the exile, a few leaders of the Israel went in with a promise of the Yahweh. But we are the community, the church, the people of God, together with Jesus Christ, moving to the ends of the earth. So now, the big difference, when we pray each time the creed, we are just saying and asserting that history belongs to God. He came down and He ascended, and we are here with the Lord who is living and moving with us. Now I want to share with you only three aspects of this dimension, this ascension reflection. That is, one is a Jeremiah factor, which we are going to be taken into a pre-exilic time, and a Nehemiah factor, which is a post-exilic time, and the ascension reflections. Friends, I want you to begin with Jeremiah, the time, the pre-exilic time. When Jeremiah and the people with a heavy heart moving to the exile, what Jeremiah does, he takes a fire from the altar and he hides it in a cistern. But people worried we should be marking the place where the fire is hidden. But Jeremiah forbids no, because he says, if the fire is there, the people will find it out again. And now, after 70 years, when Ezra comes back to Jerusalem, he and the newcomers find the fire underneath the cistern and lights the altar. Nothing magical happens between Jeremiah and Ezra to find the fire. It is the fire within will find out the right persons. Now, much of our worries about the communities, the number, size, ratio, it all nothing we don't need to be worried about, because if the fire is kept up, new generation will find the fire within us because He is the Lord. And now, friends, the second factor, the Nehemiah factor. He's a cute wonder in the scriptures because he comes into the debris, totally lost city with the people completely depressed. But he's not a depressed man. From the debris, he addressed the people. He just calls them. Instill only one thing, the sense of community, and fill in your place and time. When we think much about our communities, it is only one Nehemiah factor that we need. Fill your place and fill your time. And a sense of community can repair anything that we feel heavy within our heart. So now I think we'll meet in Tewkesbury to reflect the Ascension reflections. See you there. Now, friends, welcome to St. Joseph's, Tewkesbury. Now we take the third part of our reflection. This is some thoughts about ascension. Ascension is always attached with a few points or just one single theme of joy. The disciples, they stayed at the Lord and they went out in joy to Jerusalem. Fact is that nothing changed in Jerusalem. It is only one fact and faith that the Lord is with them changed their globe. Friends, when we come to the Ascension is a day where the community is built up very much. When we come to the experience of Jesus, Jesus invites them, come above the audible, come above the visible, to the touch, taste, smell of the community. The disciples were very much obsessed with whatever they can see, what they can listen. But they always remained very shallow, being in the audible and the visible. But Jesus wanted them, come touch me, come taste me, or even come to the smell of the community being together. So that is where the ascension is a community building experience. Now, during the pandemic, we had our two senses being fed through the streaming. The visible was okay and the audible was okay. But we lost the touch, the taste, and the smell of the community. And the disciples, away from Jesus being ascended, they come to the community, tasting each other or bringing the presence of the smell of each other, as well as really they touch each other. Now, only being in the community where we can integrate our five senses together, we can go forward. And ascension is inviting us, come with a compassionate touch, with a friendly taste, as well as a mutual presence, the smell of the community. And now, just to wind up what we were trying to reflect this Ascension Sunday, friends, between Jeremiah and Ezra, the generation of Jeremiah and Ezra, they are wide apart, but what they are linked together is in the fire within. And secondly, Nehemiah factor, sense of the community that can stand against any odd situations in life. And Ascension inviting us into touch, taste, smell, and visibility and the audibility of the community. When Jesus said to the disciples, go out in preaching, teaching, and baptizing, teaching and preaching will remain only to the audible and the visible, but baptism is an immersion, coming into the community, feeling, touching, tasting, smelling, and being together. God bless you all. Thank you.